Right now, I'm stood almost 2,000 meters high in one of the most unknown and least visited mountain ranges in the whole of Europe. Welcome to the wild and unseen side of Cyprus. Cyprus had always been one of those places I had never felt compelled to travel to. And the main reason for this was because all I ever heard about it was how perfect of a hot, relaxing beach destination it was. And as someone who is in love with adventure and seeing wild places, it just didn't appeal to me at all. That was until I heard of a place by the name of Trodos, sat at almost 2,000 meters in the heart of the mountains where many people believe was the birthplace of Cyprus. So I set off to see these mountains for myself and hike through their ancient trails, and after a 2-hour bus ride from the coast, I arrived at Trodos Square, right in the heart of the mountains, and began my 2-day exploration to see the beauty these mountains hold, as well as take you along for the ride. I decided to hike 2 of the best trails in the mountain range, starting with the Artemis trail, a circular trek around the summit of Mount Olympus with panoramic views all along it, and it was a pleasure to see the views right from the start of the trail, as well as a surprise of how high in the mountains I was. For such a small country, the elevation that this mountain range really has is actually incredible. Looking down there, that's got to be like 1,000 meters below us, that valley. And you know, Cyprus is such a tiny country. It's just crazy to wrap my head around that this mountain range is actually really tall for just an island in the Mediterranean. So the forest here is made up of these really unique pine trees that only grow about 15 meters tall and have really thick trunks as well as wacky branches all over the place, and they're really, really cool. The whole mountain range was actually made a protected area to help stop the deforestation of these trees. This black pine is humongous. There's a sign over there that says this one's over 500 years old, and there are some in this forest that are up to 1,000 years old. I mean, it's one of the thickest and oldest trees I've seen in Europe, so it's really cool to see it in this forest. So here at the top they've got a little ski lift, and just up here they've cleared some trees and they've made their very own ski slope, which is something that's quite crazy, that you can go skiing in Cyprus. But here up on the mountain it actually gets lots of snow during the winter. So if you ever think about a skiing trip in Cyprus on the Mediterranean, check this out. Considering it's one of the most popular hikes in these mountains, I haven't seen many other people. I've seen like 1 or 2 right in the beginning, but now it's been ages since I've seen anyone. It's really peaceful up here. Like, you can just hear kind of some cars in the distance because there's a main road not too far away, but apart from that, just the sound of silence and nature, which is incredible. I think one of the reasons for this was visiting in December, but as you can see, apart from being slightly cold, the views and everything was just as good as summer. It is absolutely phenomenal from up here. I mean, the views are just ridiculous, and all the trees disappeared at this point I've reached to, so it's just crazy, 180 views. I think the peak's just a little bit above me, and that's at almost 2,000 meters, so quite high up, so it's getting cold, and the clouds, as you can see, the clouds are coming in quite thick and fast, so I've had to put out the old beanie. Go over how cool and unique these trees are. It really feels like I'm on a different planet, and especially with this fog coming in behind me, it's really, really feeling otherworldly at the moment. Another amazing viewpoint here. You know, these rocks are just so cool to sit on and look at the view, but the fog keeps coming in and blocking the view, which is a shame because it is incredibly picturesque right now. I sat and watched the clouds roll by for a while before continuing along the rocky path to the highest peak of the trail. Just sat here having a beer admiring the view and just thinking how I'm actually above the clouds right now. I mean, that's not fog, that's actual clouds, and this mountain's so tall for such a small island that we're sitting above it right now. And I think these mountains are really, really underrated. And if you like hiking and views, which I'm sure many of you will, this place is a hidden gem for sure. I then finished the hike and made my way to my accommodation for the night, hidden in the forest. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of exploring Cyprus's wild mountains. Today I'm doing a bit longer of a hike, a bit lower down in altitude than I did yesterday, but it's supposed to be a bit more wilder and have some really cool views in it as well. It's lovely and sunny this morning compared to yesterday with all those clouds, so hopefully it stays this way, although I'm getting a bit worried it might be a bit cloudy later. So because this place gets so much snow during winter, it actually has these massive gorges from when all the snow melts in the beginning of summer, and it makes hiking through here really, really dramatic with all these rocks and gorges and stuff. It's pretty cool. The weather today is just amazing. There's no clouds below us, so I can see all the way to the sea, and the views are just stunning. It's so, so beautiful. Really nice walking around this side with no clouds today. And this hike is just as peaceful as the one I did yesterday, if not more peaceful, because it's getting further and further away. Yesterday there was a few roads nearby, but today it's just me, mountains and some fresh air. I've just come across all these man-made walls just here on the side of the mountain, with nothing else really around them, which makes me think there must sort of been some ancient civilization or something living here, which is pretty cool to think. I mean, with these mountain views and everything, this would be an incredible place to have stayed. As I continued along the path, I soon came across an old freshwater well. I'd love to fill my water from it and get some nice fresh water, but I'd have to wait maybe 7.5 hours to fill up my bottle, because it's only coming out literally one drop at a time. It's quite hard to comprehend really how wild these mountains are feeling right now, because the island of Cyprus is so small and it's really full of people, and if I look out in the distance all the way until the horizon, I can't see a single other house, village, road, anything. And I know that's just this view here, but it is quite crazy how there's such wild places in such a small country. What else surprised me is how peaceful this place really is. I mean, this morning I've seen no one else. It's been quite crazy. I've been walking for like about an hour and a half and I haven't seen a single other hiker, which is really lovely. Whoever designed the trails through this mountain range was actually a bit of a genius, because it's almost completely flat the whole way around this mountain. You don't go up or down, you just kind of stay really, really level, and you just have unbelievable views all around you, and it's like you're almost not even earning them. You're just kind of strolling along, just enjoying the views, not having to work too hard, which is really, really nice. This is the entry to this old abandoned mine up here in the mountains, and apparently it was working between 1950 and 1954, so over 70 years ago almost, and it's been abandoned for a lot of that time now. You can see all the rocks have fallen down. Quite an eerie vibe here, but it's pretty cool how all those years ago guys were out here in the mountains deep inside extracting ores, and I think they were after this certain iron here or something like that from the sign I read, but I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to go in and explore a bit, but the entrance has completely caved in and it's just all rocks falling, but it's still really, really cool to see. I've reached this amazing viewpoint right at the top of the mountain I'm on, and the view is just incredible. I can see all the way to Limassol and the sea, and then you've got these amazing clouds coming over and just this whole wild forest beneath me. And as I sat and enjoyed the view, I was feeling grateful for an opportunity to visit and experience these beautiful mountain ranges. Thank you so much for watching.